maybe Mickey just wants to prove something at this point. Quite frankly, if he's really confident in the champions he plays in this lineup, composition-wise, like if he's going to play an assassin, it doesn't matter which one he picks. But, all right, Lulu, I think, is better here just because, yeah, I mean, if you get kind of cornered in with the equalizer and then, you know, Vladimir comes in and tries to wreck you, the wild growth is going to help. You know, the speed to run away from Vladimir is going to help on whoever he's trying to target, especially Sivir. At the end of the day, if you keep Sivir alive, you're going to win this game because you have that 80 damage. They don't have a true tank. Rek'Sai is the only one who's going to really build specifically against Sivir, if anything. And yeah, probably Rek'Sai will build a lot of armor because you got that Rengar too. But then Lulu will do a lot of magic damage also. And so will Gragas. And early on in the laning phase, Lulu can have the advantage over Vladimir. It's going to take some time for Vlad to really get started. So if Lyra pressures a little bit, Mickey can take that advantage, maybe roam a little earlier, and help the rest of his teammates grow a little bit more so that even if Vlad farmed decently, that it's not going to matter too much in team fights. And on the flip side, if winners start snowballing it really well, I mean, their AoE damage is pretty scary. Rumble, Vlad, and Corki. Not any secured AoE CC, though, so we'll see if they can make it work. Winners versus Anarchy. Anarchy 1 game away from getting into Champion Summer. Winners trying to steal it away with 2 wins in a row. Let's find out as we jump right into set number 2 of this best of 3. Alright, I've been listening several times, and man in the red sweater cheers a little bit louder for Anarchy. I think it's because Anarchy won set 1, and I think maybe he just also wants to go home earlier. I don't know, though. It's not too late. I mean, even if we went to a full best of 3, everyone would still be able to catch the subway or the bus home if they needed to. But I guess we have been here for 4+ hours now. But we've had some fun matches. I mean, they were pretty one-sided for IM, but it was refreshing to see IM play really well, very crisp. They didn't let the game extend too much longer than they needed to. I mean, I think I can think back, and I'm trying to think that I think in 2 of the games, maybe they could have ended it a little bit earlier, but it would have been a matter of like 5 to 10 minutes. They didn't drag anything out, 20 minutes earlier with a Baron throw or anything crazy like that. So for IM fans and Champions fans who have been following for a while, or even new fans, especially if you like cheering for the underdog, IM's a team you want to keep your eye on. Ignar really... Uh-oh! Gank 0 gets baited by Sangyu and has to blow his flash. That... Yeah, I don't know. 145. I don't think Gank 0 is going to go home. He's just going to have to try to last it out. Meanwhile, let go. Let go 77. Because I guess, so this draws Max up to the top lane because Max originally would have wanted to farm the jungle, and Max might come in and try to go for the kill here. Oh, but he's just going to get the harpoon onto Max. That's really funny. I don't expect that to ever work somewhere else, and Lego actually has to port back because he took so much damage. But I don't ever expect to see that against any of the regular season teams. But actually, Lego doesn't lose out on any CS because the tower helped shove it out. So basically Max, and Max of course has that smite to farm out the lane. So Max missed out on 1 minion. He also didn't get to jungle, one camp before coming. So, I mean, clever of Lego, but he did have to use his teleport early, so we'll see if it pays off later on. It was pretty funny, but it looks like it might actually backfire here because Max was fine. Just like, all right, whatever, I'll use my smite in lane. Otherwise, I'd like to keep my eye on bot lane. Of course, and yeah, now he's going to go and farm the jungle. And in fact, since he's level 2, he's much better at it too. So, it was funny, it was clever, but it would have actually worked best if Max still tried to jungle but I think Max was smart enough to counteract that. And they know that Gang Zero doesn't have flash, so they're trying to stay in a fight because the teleport's coming in from CV Max, but Potato already came for the gang, so Boku gets the first kill, and Max actually just gonna die. That, I don't know. Snowflower and Sangyun, I think, you know, the communication came in from Max, like, hey, I'm teleporting, and they knew that Corki didn't have flash, so they tried to stay and fight, I guess, but Sangyun was already pretty low. They didn't see Potato coming in when the teleport started. I think it would have been best for Max to just cancel that, and then just, you know, just sacrifice Sangyun. He was going to die anyway when Rek'Sai showed up. Actually, maybe not. I think he could have tried to flash over Rek'Sai when Rek'Sai tried to knock her up. So, yeah, there were other gambles you could have taken, but Anarchy got a little greedy there. Eventually, Winners gets 2 kills in that bottom lane, and, well, Winners taking the lead. But they did have the lead last time, too. They had the lead of 1 to, like, 3K at certain points for the first half of the game. And then Anarchy really switched things 180 degrees with 2 team fights, and then starting to get Dragon Snacks for themselves. My tongue getting all tied up, just like this match might be after this game. And yeah, mid lane's going to be pretty passive. Moon actually farming really well, and Vladimir always can. I would have liked to see Mickey try to pressure a little bit more, but it's tough early on for Lulu too, because obviously you're limited by mana, so there is a little bit of give and take there. But Moon can't sustain as well, you know, levels 1 to 3, so it would have been convenient for Mickey if he could harass him while farming really well without having to use Glitterlands all the time. But yeah, he's still keeping him really low, trying to send him home earlier than he goes back himself. But Moon, of course, he has his pull, he has his ghost, he has his flash. Oh, but there's the flash and the ignite, but Mickey got a little bit too eager. He gets the kill first. But what matters here is that Potato also got the assist there. If it was simply a trade, and actually even in a simple trade, Mickey used both the summoners, Moon didn't use any of his. I think Mickey thought he could try to burst him down right before he pulled, or so that even if he pulled, the ignite would auto-kill him. But that was some really quick reactions from Moon, where I think only the ignite went through. So Mickey unable to, or maybe the help picks, but not the Glitterland, so Mickey wasn't able to get that kill. Also, if he got the Whimsy, that would have been different too. Oh, that ward not going to catch the dragon here. That's cool, but Lyra going to take the first dragon here. That matters quite a bit. Potato simply had to walk over like 1 inch to see Gragas, because I think he was moving back and forth a little bit. Maybe he wasn't at all, but he was fighting dragon too, so he would have spotted that. But the dragon's gone. Potato's going to take the Scuttle Crab, and he's going to be like, wait, what? Meanwhile, Mickey is level 6, though, so he has a level advantage. But here we go. There's no flash for Mickey, so the gank coming in from Potato. Lots of damage flashing forward by both Vladimir and Rek'Sai. Oh, okay. Moon will get the kill at the very end. Potato helping with that smite. And now the advantage is 100% going over to Vladimir. He has a 10 CS lead and more. He's caught up on levels there, has 2 kills to 1, and now he can sustain himself forever with that revolver. And once he, once he reaches level 9, he'll be super set to go. Max? Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do when he went bot early and gave a kill? Snowflower trying to make something happen, but here comes the teleport. Equalizer is up for Rumble, and there's the far-range Equalizer. Got the slow and some damage down to Sangyun, but Gangzero too far ahead with that exhaust. His teammates coming through, and Sangyun too scared to try to kite Gangzero. Eventually goes down. Boku picks up the kill. A little bit unfortunate, but Winners is so far ahead at this point that I think it's not too bad that Boku got the kill. They are 2K gold ahead, which at 7 minutes is pretty good. But also, they just have so much pressure advantage at this point. You know, all of their lanes are essentially winning. And basically, what that means is Lyra has so much pressure on himself to try to make something happen. Because none of his solo laners, right? Rengar, I mean, okay, Rengar could solo kill Rumble. Could. But once Rengar, or once Rumble, rather, gets his Haunting Guys, which he just did, Rumble could also just turn around and be like, all right, worst case, I'll trade 1-for-1 with you, but then I'll have a bigger impact on overall team fights, unless Rengar can find his target correctly. And also, once that, Zonius comes out, then Rengar won't be able to do that to Rumble. At the same time, what's Lulu gonna do to a Vladimir who has a Revolver, who has a no Magic Mantle, and is level 7? Nothing. Your solo laners you can't really rely on them to get solo kills right now. I mean, they're not super behind themselves, but so Lyra has to make something happen. But where is he gonna go? I mean, Vladimir has his pull. He has 2 escape summoners, which are on cooldown for now, but they'll probably just play it a little safe. I think your best bet is probably go top, but if you position poorly and that equalizer comes down, we've seen Rumbos turn 2v1s around a lot. We saw it at MSI this past weekend too. So you'd have to play that really well. Gragas thankfully can play that off, I think, pretty well against Rumble with the CC that he has and the displacement and the movement he has himself. At the same time, bottom lane wouldn't be too bad to gank, but Boku could get a really good Monsoon and disrupt that. So basically, Lyra can either hope for Snowflower and himself. All right, yeah, so he's in top lane. I like this choice a little bit better than the bottom lane, again, once the Monsoon comes out. But Janna was level 4, but here he is. And can he get the snare? Yeah, there he goes. The equalizer comes down, does get hits on both, and Lego trying to position himself really well, but there we go. Explosive cast disrupting him, taking him away from the equalizer so that both players from Anarchy can also step off of it. A pretty simple and straightforward kill for Anarchy. Lyra can't stop there, though. He needs to make that happen again and also keep a better eye on that dragon so that Anarchy can secure the second dragon. But what's happening bottom lane? Nice push back by Snowflower. Will he get caught behind? No, he has his ultimate, so worst case, he'll just ult and live, but he's not even going to have to. Just going to heal and get out of there. No summoners used because they were all down for Anarchy players. Meanwhile, still no ult for Boku, so I think, yeah, Lyra, all right. Oh, he's actually coming down to mid lane because it's pretty close. Mickey can use Wild Growth. Mickey has to use Wild Growth. There we go. Just wanted to make sure that he can secure the kill first. Trying to make Moon think that he's simply trading and then using the Wild Growth to survive. Good games from Lyra. Lyra's doing exactly what he needs to. He's giving the edge back to his solo laner so that Anarchy can climb back into it. And I fear for Winners because Anarchy closing the gap a little bit. I mean, Winners is still ahead, but Anarchy made it back in and won the game very convincingly in set number 1. And so we'll see how it turns out here. 1 stack for Anarchy too, so worst case, let's say Winners gets the second dragon, Anarchy can just be like, all right, well, it simply means that, we're just playing at the same level we were before, just a little bit behind, 1 step behind. We can still make things happen if we make situations, just outnumber Winners a little bit. Now, bottom lane, Monsoon is now up. Summoner's still down for Corki though, but Ignite on Boku, so that can be a deciding factor on how you want to gank that lane. You have an Alistar too though, who has his ultimate. You have the Summoner heal. Summoner heal, sure, on gank 0 too, but you have the exhaust. You have so much CC from both Alistar and Gragas. I think maybe it can be worth it to try to pressure this lane. We'll see though. Much easier to probably gank the Rumble, to be honest. Probably still the easiest place to gank. Mid lane now with the flash up. Earlier he used a Ghost, but that wasn't going to help too much against the Gragas. But with the flash up, it's going to be pretty hard to kill Vlad. You can try to blow his flash, but that's not the advantage you need right now. You need that kill. Especially against a flash, or against a Vlad taking the flash away. Doesn't matter too much, because look at this. He can just burst and sustain himself. Stun not going to hit. There's the pull. And uses the explosive cast, hopefully to get away. He actually has to flash away, though. The damage coming in from Mickey. Mickey has no mana to follow up. Also, the cooldown's coming in. So Potato trying to get that kill onto Mickey. He turns right back onto Lyra. Gets the knockup, gets the slow with the smite. And another hit. Doesn't look like he can finish it. Body slamming away. And Moon's already back at half health. This is what I mean. If you blow a summoner, but Mickey was at even health, Moon will stay in the lane longer, and the experience will go over to Moon. So it's not really going to help as much. I mean, I can't blame Lyra for trying. He had to, but it was so risky to gank mid lane. Part of it was he felt pressured that he had to because Mickey was getting completely shoved into lane with low health, then maybe they would have dove Mickey if he didn't show up. So Lyra made the choice he had to, especially when he was nearby anyway. It's not like they committed summoners to that gank, so not the end of the world. He used his ult, but low cooldown for Gragas. But I'd really like to see Lyra try to pressure that top lane again. Lego is well prepared for that though. Ward's in the brush, closer to him, and Potato coming in for a flank gank. Gets the knock up on both of them. Sangyu going really low. Snowflower knocking back the damage from Winners though, so that both of the Anarchy players can run away in that bottom lane. Goku will have to go back. Well, well, I guess last game was pretty close early on too, but this is also a pretty close match, and it's fun to see these guys play. You'll notice though that, again, I mean, the biggest difference between any amateur team and any pro team is really at the bigger picture. I mean, why do you think non-pro players can get, you know, rank 1 on solo queue and things like that? Because a lot of the times they will have the mechanics, and you know, a lot of these amateur teams can have the combos down. Snowflower gonna get caught out. He has to use his ultimate, but it looks like they'll still follow through. No exhaust to slow him down, but a nice flash monsoon. If you can't slow him down, push him back. And Potato picks up that kill. Lyra in a little bit of trouble. He was trying to solo that dragon, but with his teammate getting caught out, looks like it was just a great leash for Winners. They also got the Scuttle Crab. Uh-oh, teleport coming in from CV Max, but Moon comes in with the Ghost. He's trying to jump in. He gets slowed. CV Max jumps right on top of Equalizer, trying to cut off Lyra. Lyra is going to go down to that Vladimir Hemo Plague, and CV Max has to run away. He's trying to get the kill onto Moon. A little bit overeager. It is a Vladimir. Potato, meanwhile, gets Mickey. And that is a pretty good wipe from Winners. Not a complete ace, but Winners will also get the dragon. Winners really extended their lead this time around. We'll see if they can hold on to it, unlike set number 1. If they can tie it up, it will be really interesting because we'll be down to the last match to determine who takes the 8th seed in Champions Korea Summer. Mind you, the 8th seed is not the last seed. Champions Korea is expanding to 10 teams in the summer season, so we'll have another day of 3 best of 3s tomorrow, starting at 2 p.m. KST. I'll do the time conversions for you at the end of the broadcast because my brain can't process all of that right now. But we'll have Samsung, Zenix, and Prime tomorrow. And while people were saying, just given how the Challenger teams play and the players that are kind of hyped up, today was supposed to be the more interesting match, but I don't know. In some ways, Winners and Anarchy looked really disappointing against IM. At the same time, IM looked really impressive with some of the roster changes they've made and the new sponsor they've acquired. And, you know, Zenix is an organization known to scout out really good talent. So many of their players have moved on to the staple Champions teams, the Kespa teams, to really have their shining moments. Coco, a very notable one, coming over from Zenix. And so is OQ. So we'll see how their lineup does this time around. Prime also had a couple neat moments. Of course, Prime as a brand took down T1S and knocked them out from the group stages alongside them. They basically dragged them down last year. So I'm pretty excited for tomorrow too. And Samsung, a lot of pressure on them, even if it's a rookie team with Wraith. The brand, of course, has a lot of value, and they are a Kespa team, so yeah, just gonna spot the Urin, back off. Still the most pressure on the Urin right now, especially with this mid-tier 1 being down. Mickey is gonna have a lot of trouble, and if you can't stop this Vladimir, everyone on Anarchy is gonna have a lot of trouble. Meanwhile, a lot of damage done onto Lego 77. Nice flash, is gonna dodge the bolas. If he didn't dodge that one, Max may have tried to dive a little bit to see if he can pick up that kill. Meanwhile, some nice poke going down onto Moon. The Wild Growth used a little bit preemptively onto Moon, but here comes Potato with the double knockout. I think they're going to get the kill onto Mickey. Flashing forward to secure that kill from Moon. And there's the barrel. But Moon's like, whatever. Thanks, Scuttle Crab. Gonna spell vamp from you and from the minions. We'll be back at full health in no time. Equalizer used to shove the lane back. And, whoa, what happened to you, Gang Zero? Yeah. Uh-oh, but Sang Yoon got zoned out a little bit too far for a long time. I mean, yeah, Corki has a lot of damage thanks to the Triforce, but you had Alistar in front of you to block any missile barrages coming in. I think it could have been worth it to keep fighting. Meanwhile, Moon also looking to show up bottom lane. He gets stunned by the body slam. Doesn't have his flash. He's going to have to pull. Dodges the knockup. And by then, the winner's bottom lane shows up. Well, just Janna. We also missed the kill top lane. CV Max got ganked by Potato. Traded kills with Lego. But Potato helped clean that up, and he will take the top tier 1. So Winner is still expanding that lead. Now 6K, 7K with that bottom lane tier 1 also. So Winners will have a much greater advantage in taking this third dragon, giving them 2 stacks once it comes up. Right now, Baron is up in 45. Dragon should be, you know, in about half a minute or a minute, it should be about 2 minutes out. So we'll look forward to that. But if Winners plays this right and continues to shove the lanes, which they should be able to with the likes of Corki and Vladimir, they'll get the vision advantage. I mean, look at the map. Blue wards everywhere. So Winners will get that advantage, vision advantage, and probably, all things go as planned, take that third dragon. And they might be looking to snowball that to a tie to go to the last game of a best-of-3 for that 8th spot in Champion Summer 2015 to join legendary teams like SKT T1, CJ Entis, and GE Tigers, and Najini and Fire, and Generic Ringwings, and KT Roaster. I felt bad leaving those names out because, like, KT Roaster won a Season of Champions. Najin actually won a Season of Champions in the past. Jin did not, but they have GBM, who's super cool. So CV Max, yeah, I mean, he has a Spirit Vision. He's okay. Rengar can pressure Rumble really well because Rumble basically can't jump away from Rengar. So once you have your ult, you can really try to force a trade because you can also jump away from the Equalizer. You can basically force the fight off the Equalizer really well in a 1v1 situation. But at the end of the day, Rumble still has the potential to turn it around, and the ganks are in favor of Rumble. But look at this, a 2-man Baron. I mean, they do both have Smite. They should not both stand behind, though, because they're taking a lot of damage from the back attack from Baron. Yeah, that can really wreck you. I mean, they're hiding back, I think, because of vision. I don't know. Either way, Mickey shows up. They know they're doing Baron now. There's the Wild Growth. This is an all-in from Anarchy, and it's looking really risky because Moon's showing up. The Hemo play is going to happen. There it goes, 2 people. Rumble instantly gives 2 of them. The Baron does eventually go over to Anarchy, but at what cost? Moon chasing CV Max to the end. Aww. CV Max does get away. Snowflower lives? Nope, there's a flash knock-up. Potato gets that kill, gets the smite onto CV Max. CV Max does regain some health, but Rumble just incinerates everyone from behind. And not worth it for Anarchy. They got aced, no one got the Baron buff. What you basically did was deny a Baron that wasn't gonna happen for Winners. I don't think they had any plans to take that Baron this soon. I mean, okay, so they were lacking a lot of damage to begin with because Rengar didn't build any damage either. He also went for Cinderhold alongside, he didn't go for the Warrior Enchantment, so they really had no damage. At the same time, you can't both stand behind Baron. Those spikes will come up so often, you'll take so much damage from that. Because if you stand in front, some of the other AoE damage, like you can dodge because your skill shots, they're telegraphed, but with a spike, like you can't. It's just the entire backside of Baron takes damage. I forget which match, but we had that happen before too. I don't know if I actually don't even remember if it was Korea or if it was a different region. But you can't do that, right? So basically they took too much damage, which required Mickey to show up, and Mickey showing up gave the all-tell for Moon to go in alongside Lego. And now Winners have a 10K gold lead at 23 minutes. And we'll most likely go to the third set in a best of 3. But hey, at least that makes it interesting. Probably makes it a little bit too nerve-wracking for these players. But Winners isn't going to complain because they're already down 1-0. Anarchy probably not feeling too great about that. I'm really not a fan of the Rengar pick. I mean, the only one that I would really respect to do that these days is Trace. I mean, yeah, with the smite and everything, yeah, you can argue that there is some merit, but also in general, Rengar, except for a short period of time where he could really hard carry games on his own, it was all about him with a team comp, right? Something that worked with Rengar. And sure, you have Lulu and Orianna, but you haven't even grouped. So that's really not helping you out either. So you're not really seeing the merit of the Rengar pick when Anarchy has been picking that up. Part of it is because Winners picked that Vladimir in mid. They shut down Mickey's Lulu and basically gave no chance by shoving up both top and mid lane constantly for Anarchy to group up. Meanwhile, Sang Yoon gets, eventually wrecked in that bottom lane. Nice Howling Gale from Boku. But, from the brush, jumps back on the game 0, but there's the equalizer onto 3 people. Eventually, you're still going to see Corki go down, and the Wild Growth onto Lyra. Snowflower is going to not die with his ultimate. Lyra also finally going to dodge a wave with that damage reduction. Meanwhile, Lego is, he's going to be fine. Never mind. There's a Howling Gale coming in. But so tanky. I mean, this is why you build Bruiser Rengar, because you still do a lot of damage, but at the end of the day, Moon is alive and well. And he's threatening Lyra. He's like, hey, I can stand under tower and still be a threat to you because I can spell vamp and then pull. So, I guess Anarchy got whatever advantage they could from that fight. But they still lost the tower. They still gave kills. Yeah, I mean, when you're that far ahead, on paper you could be like, oh yeah, but they still got kills, they still got even number of kills, which means they did really well because they should have gotten stomped. True, but you also gave kills to Vladimir, so not really going to make the biggest difference for the outcome of your game. And hello, Sang Yoon. 0-5 and 2 Sivir. Did spell shield the knock up though, so good for you. Yeah, all things considered, Winners has to throw this game for Anarchy to come back. That's been the case for, I mean, generally how League of Legends goes overall. When one team has a lead, they have to make the mistakes. But it's also because Anarchy's team wants to fight. Like, their composition wants to fight. At the same time, so does Winners, and Sang Yoon, his exit gets denied by everyone. First equalizer, then the Corki. CP Max has to run away using his ultimate. And Lulu coming in to help with the save. The slow coming in from Gragas over the wall. So Winner's just going to keep shoving that mid lane. Oh, that was so mean against Sang Yoon. Hey, I'm going to go this way. Equalizer. I'm going to go this way. Valkyrie. Really no exit. Lego just going to tank that tower. Probably not for too long. Yeah, it does hurt. Janna ultimate use so that he can keep sieging here. Been a while since we've seen that happen. Used to happen all the time, but they're going to take the inhibitor too. Winners will back off. Baron up in 120, Dragon up in 130. And Winners, they're all pretty healthy too, thanks to Janna's ult. So I think they might just go ahead and take one of these objectives, or at least try to catch Anarchy as they rush in to try to defend one of these objectives for themselves. We'll see. Winners is split, so they're not going for any of these objectives. I mean, they could go for Dragon, I guess, with Janna and Corki, but Janna's going back home. Not sure what, I think Corki's doing blue, yeah. And then trying to go for that red steal. But not going to happen for Winners, so we are going to see the red also go over to, looks like Rengar. Taking a long time though. No damage items Rengar. Still does decent damage by simply surviving and having low cooldowns on his skills, but and you have the Skirmisher's Saber. But aside from that, Rengar is losing a lot of his merit right now, too. I mean, here's the other thing. If you're going to build a comp revolving around Rengar, but Rengar goes tank, and the whole point of Rengar doing damage is by surviving. I mean, sure, you have Wild Growth to help with that, but the rest of your team is going to die while he's surviving. It just... I'm not a fan of the way Anarchy is using the Rengar pick. Let's put it that way. I mean, the pick itself, first of all, I'm all for new picks. I'm all for crazy things. I'm all for top lane fizz all day, every day. Actually, if it was all day, every day, it'd be the regular meta, and I wouldn't be as big of a fan. But my point is, I'm all for innovation. I'm all for new things. I'm all for off-the-wall theory crafting. And Rengar comps have always been, well, not always, except for that short period, they've always been kind of unique. They've been this pocket comp, the pocket pick that comes out. Trace, this top lane Rengar, is respected for that exact reason, because he is confident in bringing it out in any meta. But, yeah, it's not working out here. If you're going to build him Bruiser, then I'd rather see you have, like, Orianna than Lulu's support, if anything. Like, you just go all in on that if you're going to do that. Basically, who's your damage here, right? Like, who's your damage? Nobody. Nobody is the answer for Anarchy. They don't have the ability to kill the likes of Rexar and Vladimir right now unless they're constantly knocked up, which they have a lot of. They have the body slam stun knock up. They have the knock up from Alistar. They have the knock up from Wild Growth or knock back. But they also don't have any targeted stuns, and CV Max goes in, but he's going to get zoned out by that Equalizer. There's a Wild Growth, but he's all alone, and look at this, Moon zoning out 4 people, but oh, is Moon going to go down? Nope, there's the Zonia. CV Max comes back out with 200 health. Eventually, Moon does go down, but Potato still have really good health. Lego going in. Nice Janna ult bringing the heals down to the teammates of Winners, but Sangyun actually doing still well, kiting from behind. Potato at half health, but look at this, right? Despite all that zoning, Gangster is still at full health, and this is what I mean by lack of damage. I mean, Anarchy, if they, for instance, if they had a Jinx, this would have been very different. At the very least, Winners would not be shoving for the win right now. If they had Orianna, they would also not be able to shove right now. The point is, what's Lulu gonna do against a full health Corki and a half health Rek'Sai? Not a fan of the Rengar pick. Looks like Winners is going to tie things up. And we will go to set number 3 of a best of 3 to determine the AC. There's the teleport coming in from Lego. They really just want to finish. They've committed to it. It's going to be game. Winners tie it up 1-1. And we go to one last game. Determine who moves in to Champion Summer 2015. Will it be Winners or Anarchy? It does make things pretty interesting. It's going to be pretty intense. And it's hard to call, really, at this point. I'll say this, though. I have a feeling if Anarchy doesn't pick Rengar, they can win. And I really think this is this weird crutch that they have for themselves, where it's not really a crutch. It's like not doing the job of a crutch, but it seems to be a crutch for them. I'd really like to see them not fall back on that. We'll see what they pick, but Winners